Hi everyone, welcome to the first of the Understand the Bible Catechism sessions. This is the session where we really try and explain the Christian faith in a way that you might not have heard it explained before. A catechism is just a traditional way of learning Christianity through a series of questions and answers. And it's that simple. It was developed in the early church as a way of helping those who were coming for baptism to understand what they were being baptized into, what the faith was. And unfortunately, through the 20th century, the church largely forgot what it meant for, what a catechism was. So unfortunately, we didn't really do it much up till the end of the 20th century into the 21st. But we've started reviving it again. And I'm going to use a catechism that was written actually about 400 years ago, 400 or 500 years, called the Westminster Shorter Catechism. And this is a really good one. I've been using this actually in my Firm Foundations course on Understand the Bible. And I found it very succinct, very helpful way of just putting the Christian faith into bite-sized portions, which will really help you to understand. And so today we're going to look at the very first one of those questions and answers. And that's what I'm going to do is I'm just going to read it and then look at a couple of Bible verses, and that's all we're going to do for the rest of this. It'll just be 5 or 10 minutes each session, just looking at this, and then hopefully it will give you something to talk about and to think about afterwards. So today, Catechism question number 1 is this: what is the chief end of man? You could say, what is our purpose in life? It says the answer: man's chief end is to glorify God and enjoy Him forever. So it says that our purpose here on earth, there are two things that we are to do. The first thing is to glorify God, and the second thing is to enjoy Him forever. So let's look briefly at those two things. Firstly, to glorify God. It says in 1 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 31, so whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, do it all for the glory of God. Everything we do is to be done for the glory of God. And what that means is that by what we do, we show how great and how glorious God is. Our lives show how great and glorious He is. And we can do that when we obey Him. When we live our lives in obedience to Him, we show His glory by showing His goodness in how we live. We depend on Him in prayer as we pray to Him, as we ask for what we need, as we ask for His help, and so on and so forth. Then that shows His glory by showing that He is a God who is faithful and who can provide. So that shows God's glory as well. And we can show His glory by living life to the full, living life in His ways. When we show that the ways that God has given us to live in the Bible are good, and that they are life-giving, and that they are fulfilling, that is how we show His glory. There was an early church father, a sort of a bishop from the early church called Irenaeus, who once said, "The glory of God is man fully alive." To live a full life with God in obedience to Him, praying to Him, all of those things, that shows the glory of God. So that's the first thing. We show God's glory in how we live. The second thing is we enjoy Him forever. We enjoy Him forever. Now, if you were describing, or someone asked you to describe a word to talk about how you relate to God, would you use the word enjoy? Would you say, I enjoy God? Now, I don't think very many people, if any, would choose that word. Now, who enjoys God? But yet that's what the Catechism says, and I think they are completely right to do that, because that is our purpose, not just to relate to God like it's a chore, but actually to enjoy that relationship, to enjoy walking with Him, spending time with Him in prayer, in the Bible, in church, and with others, and so on. Just being with God day by day. We're supposed to enjoy that. And that's what it says in Psalm 73. Let me read out. This is just the second verses to read out. Psalm 73, verses 25 to 28. Whom have I in heaven but you? And earth has nothing I desire besides you. My flesh and my heart may fail, but God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever. Those who are far from you will perish. You destroy all who are unfaithful to you. But as for me, it is good to be near God. I have made the sovereign Lord my refuge. I will tell of all your deeds. So God is our portion, the word that it uses there. God is the one who satisfies us in the end. God is the one that we really need more than anything else. God is our portion. To know God is better than anything else in life. And that's something that we find as we go through and as we realise that many of the things that people strive for in this life, whether that be money, whether that be possessions or a career or anything like that, those things don't actually satisfy in the end. But what really satisfies is God. When we walk with him, when we know him, that is what satisfies. And this is the thing, that life with God is the best kind of life. It's not just morally right or true, but it is the best kind of life, the most fulfilling, the most happy, all of those things that it's possible to live. And yes, to walk with God can be hard. To walk with God can be hard at times, but actually it's the best kind of life that it's possible to live, no matter what. And as for me, I wouldn't change walking with God for anything. For me, it has been the best thing that's ever happened to me. And obviously it's important to believe and trust in God because it is true. Even if you're not enjoying it at the moment, stick with it. But that's the goal, is to come to that point of saying, as the psalm does, earth has nothing I desire besides you. That actually we recognise God is our portion, that he is what lies behind all the good gifts that we have, and he's the one that we should desire the most. So that's something which is a good way to begin, that our purpose in life is to glorify God with all that we do and to enjoy him forever.